world leaders, all these false idols and these false idol worshippers are the worst. Needs to be terminated. Everything needs to be normal again. Well, everything should be done with and everything should be free and just create. That's it. It is said that these newer generations of children, kids, people, the newer generations coming up are stupider. Well, perhaps they're smarter because they've stopped engaging with the internet. They got a whole bunch of movements going on, basically saying that they ain't gonna post and they're not gonna engage online. You know why? Because of the data harvesting. They put a good idea out and everybody starts stealing it when it originates from them. So no more commenting and no more of that. They rather be around real people and not get their ideas stolen. That's what they're thinking, and they're right. The theft is incredible. And speaking of theft, all these scammers, Kickstarter. You should take a look at Kickstarter. I just go around and browse stuff for once in a while, and man, the scams going. You got some people that have been sending messages out for like more than a year. Well, hey, where's my product? Nothing, and these people are getting like more than $500,000. These so-called creators, and it's not like, oh man, we tried to do it, but the product failed. Those are on the terms that it's not Kickstarter's fault if the product fails and whatnot. You take liability, but this is not that. These are scammers scamming people, taking the money. Then Kickstarter gets 30%. You try to call the bank and all this other stuff, and yeah, man, we can't help you. They'll get a refund and then get charged back, and sometimes get charged more because of that whole situation that was going on there. Yeah, scams everywhere. Then you got these telemarketers calling everybody's phone, the scammers online. Where's all this artificial intelligence going? Where's it going? Because apparently these scammers keep on running wild all over the place. Sledgehammers. You know something about sledgehammers? Another thing is these data centers. That's what they have plenty of names. These data centers. There's rumors going around that the inhabitants around these areas are packing heat. They're packing sledgehammers. Well, they're packing these air pressured sledgehammers. And you know where they're going to town with these air pressured sledgehammers. Have you ever played that game? Minecraft or play it. That's literally what's happening. You ain't gotta do a thing. Just head on over to the bricks. You know what they're doing with these air pressure sledgehammers, alright? That's a future tale for you. A normal tale for me, because it's happening right now live. Even though you haven't got a clue where I'm at. This just in. When people speak, whispers are heard. The infrastructure is collapsing. Sector tanks are exploding. Shit is flying all over the place. Neighboring communities are viewing this mysterious black mist. The smell is tremendous. Everybody is scrolling, rolling, running all over the place. They're leaving, evacuating the area. Will Captain Planet please come and save them? People are claiming that time is speeding up. Well, I'm in April right now. I had a dream. It was Wild Wild West-ish. That's what it was. And you know what happened in this dream? It was back in the day, back in the day. And I entered what seemed to be a library, too big to be a library. It looked more like a museum. So anyway, apparently they're trying to get rid of this area here. I get hired for some reason. I'm taking care of the place. That's what my interpretation of it was. So I entered the vicinity, and there were people working there already. Apparently there was an Indian guy dressed as an Indian. The old school Indians dressed like that in there. To my side was this lady with a blue skirt on. I entered the place. There's dust all over the place. That's the main thing. There's dust. So I take it upon myself like, yo man, we gotta get rid of this dust. So we start cleaning the place up. Before there was a gigantic whiteboard, a chalkboard, a gigantic chalkboard, and then there were numbers on the side, 1 through I think 100, and next to it were like these towns that were written, and then the person's name too. I don't know. I believe you were assigned a number. You you had a piece of paper with a number, look at the board, boom, you're assigned this town, apparently. You were assigned this town, apparently. And so I look at mine, and mine was number 78, I think it was 70 something, I think it was 78. And the town next to it was, I try to remember, it was Miss, the woman town, the woman Miss, the mist, something with woman in the mist, something like that, weird name. It's something weird. And apparently someone decided to make a special guest appearance, the wrestler named CM Punk, and he's dressed in a suit. I guess that would be for the second time in his life, or the third, whatever it may be. So he's in there and he's causing problems. He's freaking out. He starts erasing the numbers. What the heck is this guy doing? Apparently some dude was off, so it went from like number 50 to like 54, and everyone was getting mad there because they're trying to get to their numbers, know what their town is. Eventually the ruckus is over and the numbers are like aligned now, and it's like, all right, this is that. I kept the same town for some reason, I don't know how that. Anyway, with the same town next to it. So anyhow, our ruckus happens, everyone was assigned their thing, and they leave. So we start cleaning them up. I see computers, I'm good at fixing computers. So I'm going like, oh man, don't tell me I'm back at Windows 98 or Windows 95. This is horrendous. Well, it's even worse because the computers had these green text on them, right? So you had to freaking throw in code apparently. I'm alright at this. So I just looked on it. I didn't even get to the coding part. You know why? Because this jackass, this freaking moron comes into the freaking, he seems to be like the mayor of the town. I don't even know how, because these are different towns all over the world. So anyway, this jerk comes in there, and he's like with this white suit on, started with a cowboy hat on, started screaming, and just going, I don't even know what the heck he's saying. I just kicked him the heck out of it. Like, yo, listen, Hasha, get the fuck out of here. I just kicked him out. He's screaming on his way out. His face is getting red and all this. Locked him out of the freaking building. So we start cleaning the place up with a whole bunch of dust. Finally, it seemed, but it gets weird. Then I met this, from this point on, the dreams start going and fast forward, because I assume I'm starting to wake up at this point, and then I go, I'm not going to tell you these stories, but I realized there was a dream, and I go you got to be freaking kidding, because the dream started annoying me. So I'm going, this has to be a dream. And then I woke up, So why am I even telling you this? I don't know. I was in a town that had numbers by these weird town names next to it. I was number 78. We were cleaning up what seemed to be a library the size of a museum. So apparently recruits were going to come in. I guess how I was trying to make it was everybody's welcome here, and we'll help you out. I don't know, one of those type of situations. We were helping out. It was like a service station of some sort. We had the information, you come in, we tend to you, I guess, and then you leave happy, I guess. I don't know what services we were providing. I don't have a clue, but it might have to do with the air pressure. The air pressure sledgehammers here. You can. It's fantastic stuff. But there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. But it seems to be like a service station. So with that being said, I might as well talk about this other dream as well. I had a couple of them. I got these weird dreams. Once if it's even worth it, or if I decipher it, I just say stuff that's of importance, I guess. Anyway, Alex Pereira is another character. Alex Pereira, the UFC fighter. Yeah, man, I've had a couple of dreams with that dude. Like in his training days, I'm chilling at his house with his father, and they're like, oh no, he's going to train. And alright, and just tag along, and then they're training there, and I help him out. Then I had another dream that, I don't know, like this guy's my best friend, I'm doing something, stuff, and then he shows up at I'm with him, but he interferes, I don't know, don't mess with this dude. it's like we're part of a pack of best friends or something, some crazy stuff. Maybe it's, usually